Hey everybody, you're watching A Dad's Life, and today we're going to be helping out our local gym by making a piece for one of their equipment. So we're back in my workshop, and the gym that I go to, they do a really good job. It's a local gym. It's not a franchise like Planet Fitness or Go's Gym, which Planet Fitness is a massive joke. This is kind of an old school gym, really rustic, and it's a locally owned business. And I've been going there for a while, and I noticed that one of the pieces of equipment that they have, it's missing a part to it. It doesn't really affect the use of the equipment. It's basically a support that you can stand on to reduce the weight when you're doing dips or pull-ups. And it's something that, for me, if you belong to like a group or organization, maybe like a church, it's always nice to really become a part of the experience of going to the church or a group, or in my case right now it's a gym, to be active in it. And not only, you're paying a membership. Some people think that, well, I'm paying a membership, maybe they should, go ahead and do this on their own, which for the most part a lot of places do. But for me, if you're going to be a part of something, if you can do something to make that experience for yourself or even the business better, then you should go ahead and do that. And for me, I can produce that part that would keep them from going out and buying it. So what I'm going to do is I have a rough sketch of what that part is, and I've got some scrap steel behind me that I'm going to actually make that part, and then take it to the gym and install it to make sure that it's working properly. But that helps out more of your connection to like your organization or group, and it also helps out the business owner as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start sketching out the part to let you kind of know what I'm going to be doing. I'll weld it up. We'll probably run by the gym, do like a test fit to make sure that that piece is going to fit properly and function as it should. So let's go ahead and sketch this out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the piece I'm going to be making for the gym is going to start off with a piece of round bar that is a piece that you would stand on. It's a hollow tube right now. I'm going to fill in the ends of it, weld some cap plates on the end of it, and then the main piece that comes off from this comes down, and that's going to be a 1x2 steel tubing, and that's going to come back and connect into the round bar as well. And then on the piece at the very end, I've got some flat steel that I'm going to be welding on, that will weld on both ends here, and then come up and come back to connect on both sides, and we're going to put a bolt through it, and that's what bolts to the machine. So here's my steel tubing that I'm going to be using to bolt up to the other machine, and I have my round bar right here that I'll be welding on to the back of this. So on the other end, I have a piece already marked. I'm going to cut that out, and that's going to be what bolts on to the machine itself. So I drew up a sketch to scale. So what we have here, this right here is the part of the machine that I'll be bolting onto. This right here is 1x2 steel tubing. This will be the piece I'm making. and then at the very top there's this block that's welded on to the equipment, and that's what we bolt through. So I'm going to be laying out this flat stock, and then that's why I marked on the flat stock. That's what we'll be cutting out, and we'll be taking that to the shop after I get the piece done. I'll be drilling holes into the piece. This is roughly the right location, but where we weld it up, if there's anything that's slightly off, I can grind that out or re-weld it. It won't be an issue. I just want to make sure that I get everything in the proper size and location for us to work off from. So I'll be laying this out. So I went to the gym and I placed this on the machine, put the bolt through it, and made sure that everything was lined up and be working properly into the machine. So what I'm going to do now, I still got to weld the bar on the back side of this that you stand on, and before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and tack weld this so I can get this clamp off before I start working on this end, just to make sure that this doesn't move or go anywhere. So I'll go ahead and get the welder set up, and then we'll start getting this tacked together. So I've got this end piece tacked up where I can go ahead and it won't move anywhere, and I laid out the foot piece that's going to be welded onto the bottom of this. So with these tack welds here, oh, that's pretty hot. So anyways, I got those tack welded there, and then I'll go ahead and cut this out. I don't have any drill bit that's big enough to be able to cut this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my drill press, drill a couple of holes that'll go straight through both sides of this, so I'll know the holes will be perpendicular to each other, and I come in with a grinder and I'll go ahead and finish where those holes are and cut this out, and then we'll get this footrest welded onto this as well. So let's go ahead and get this drilled.
Here, we are all about safety first. Do not try this at home.
So it's the next morning, and I got all the pieces welded up. I got the welds ground. Right now all I need to do is wipe it down with acetone, make sure I get all the debris off from it and all the oil from my hands and from what's actually on the steel itself. So after we wipe it down with acetone, we'll go ahead and I'm just going to spray it at a gray primer, just so it kind of matches the machine. And this is meant to be stood on, worked out, beat around, so the finish on it, you know, really is not going to matter that much. But on the welds, I mean, I'm not the best welder in the world. Grinding can really clean that up a little bit to make it look not too bad. But you know, if you're going to be a maker or someone who likes to work around in the, you know, shop or a metal shop, you really just got to do it. Just keep working at something. If you want to learn how to weld, well, I have the cheapest welder you could possibly buy. Even though welders are not that cheap, I still, you know, learned to weld just by doing it, just by making mistakes, learning from those mistakes, asking people for advice like, hey, you know, how do you do this? How do you do that? And then the same thing about working like on the furniture I build and the snake enclosure I built for Buddy. I never really had any training on how to do woodworking. I just jumped into it and just started learning as I go. And I made a lot of mistakes, and part of being a maker or working on something, you are going to make a lot of mistakes, but learning from those mistakes and learning how to correct those mistakes, that's what progressively makes you better and better and better. The same as working in my job. I design high rises and multifamily buildings, and there's so much code that's involved in that you would be lost. But just going through and reading and making mistakes and learning sometimes the hard way on those mistakes, that's the only way you're ever going to get better. So never be afraid of trying something new, whether it's like welding or working with metal or working with wood. That's just something that I really enjoy doing, is just making things with my hands. So I'm going to be wiping it down with acetone. If there's anyone that's never really worked with acetone, it's a great solvent to break down oil. But just please keep in mind, wear gloves with this, because acetone will eat your hands up. Well, we got it all painted up. I added some grip tape here to the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and get the bolts and head over to the gym. So I'm here at my gym, and this is the machine that I was talking about. It's a pull-up machine with the support bar that comes on the bottom, and this is where it connects to and bolts to. So it allows you to be assisted on dips and pull-ups. So I'm going to go ahead and get this installed, and then we'll give it a test. Well, there you have it. I installed the piece at my gym, and it looks like it's working properly and safe. I didn't feel any movement in the welds. It all held together nicely. And so that'll be it for today. And as always, until next time, I'll see you then.
Hey guys, welcome back to Off the Ranch. Today we're sorry, wrong one. How's it going, bros? My name is PewDiePie. No, that's not it either. Huh. Okay, that's really all I wanted. I only wanted to do those two. I was thinking about a third one, but I couldn't think of one, so I thought that two would be enough. I thought it'd be funny. He is not amused.
I put Pizza Piece on my mouth, so I don't think you could tell that I was laughing.
I did.